Hello, friends. You may be saying this doesn't look like vampires, and you'd be correct. Hi, how are we doing? Congratulations, Luke, on getting first. Hi, Steph. Hi, Jared. How are we doing this fine Friday? It has been a long weekend, friends. Luke, I hope you are recovering and taking care of yourself. So I didn't sleep well last night. I didn't get much of a nap in this afternoon. It was very late and very short. So I wasn't up for Vampire Therapist today. I thought, hey, let's go check out the DLC for Tavern Talk. Oh, that's at least something, Luke. That's something. A reminder that we are still raising funds for Punz's replacement computer. We got our payout today of $78. So that's gone straight into the savings, and we are nearly at $400 now. Almost about a third of the way there. We're slowly getting there. We're slowly getting there. Oh, I feel like sneezing. It's horrible. And I'm also out of fucking tissues. Let's hope this isn't an emotional game today, because I can't. So yeah, I got a code for the Tavern Talk DLC, Tempest and something or other, I forget now. I'm tired, and I am tired. But this DLC takes place a little while after the end of the game, and the game has now integrated Twitch. So I've connected that, so this should be fun. We get to see how our old friends are doing and maybe meet some new ones. And just feel a little cozy in our tavern again. Fuck capitalism, indeed. But yeah. Tell me, what are your plans for the weekend, friends? Let's see what this... Why does it look like a kick symbol? Sticker collection? Oh, that opens another... Oh, it's Kickstarter. Ah. Yes, okay. Yes, because this game started on Kickstarter. Cool, cool, cool. Let's get into the DLC. Piece of Curiosity, 38th of the Primordial Moon. Oh, I need that back up, thank you. Innkeeper, a drink, quickly. Good to see you too, Una. If you don't get me a strong drink immediately, I'll burn this whole tavern to the ground. That is, if you still remember how to make one with your fancy infusions and all that magic mumbo-jumbo. I wouldn't mind watching you try to explain it. I can handle this on my own, thank you. Do it yourself. But she didn't say what drink she wanted, and I can't remember what drink she gets. Ah, there we go. The Sailor's Courage. Easy peas. That's right, it's coming back to me, it's coming back to me. I need a lot of this. 1, 2, 3. We only get 5 slots, so I need an infusion. Alright, what infusion are we gonna get? Don't need that one. Or that one. That one might do it. That one's a no. That one's a no. Yeah. There we go. And then we need 2 of these. And 1 of these. Flash more. There we go. Oh, that was too much. How did that go? Like that. There we go. Alright, and a bit of this. Sailor's courage. Chatting. A strong drink for our strong friendship. Ah, love it. Don't tell anyone I said that. They wouldn't believe me anyway. Look at the pumpkins in the windowsill! It's all Halloweeny. So you haven't shown your face around here in over a year. What's the occasion? Oh, I just noticed little ghosts on the chandelier. Would you believe me if I said I miss you? I would. Good, because I do. I also needed a break from fixing some local roofs. Been in it since... ever considered putting up a clock instead of a dagger? That's interesting. I don't remember putting the dagger up. There used to be a clock there. Lady Evelyn traded me that dagger for my clock. The dagger was Neil's first gift to me. No, it was traded, obviously, because we got the clock. Feels wrong to take it down. How sweetly sentimental. My compass broke on the way here. You know, a bad omen if you ask me. Almost wandered in the wrong direction. Did you fall back on good old star navigation? We didn't save... This means we could have saved the star in our playthrough. Oh. Oh. Oh, no. Yeah, turns out I missed them after all. Think you'd have a shot convincing Leviathan to send some primordial stars up the astral sea? Not a chance, sorry. How have things been for you? A bit boring, to be honest. Been handing out a lot of fun quests. Would you like one too? I think I'll pass for now. How about you? Still working with Archie? Theo told me you're teaching him pyrography. Whatever that is. We're still figuring that out, but I'm having fun. Happy to hear it. I'm currently trying to talk Archibald out of writing the Gouvert-themed romance novel Kyle is trying to talk him into. I don't remember him. He gave up after one thing. Yep, I think I put him up to it. Cute. Stop talking Archie out of it. Maybe he should write something inspired by... Archie and Mary Morgan's 5th breakup. Love story instead. I'll pass your idea along. Relationships can be tough, huh? They can be, but they can also be very rewarding. Like for Neil and his parents, unlike for Neil and his parents. Wait. I don't remember which one was Neil. Can we check? Characters. Oh, we haven't unlocked him again. Oh! Now he's Gustav Archibald Richmond III. Oh, he's gotten more names. I don't remember what Neil and his parents... Neil was our emo boy, that's right. Because he kept changing his goddamn name. I'm happy he found better people to love him like he deserves. You and me both. Speaking of the sneaky guy, do you know if the Zoford familiars got back to them about Melly's tea party yet? What cakes to bake. But they did kill their wizard, so... cakes to bake. Can't wait to try them. But before I forget, I've got something for you. For me? Here you go. A recipe! Ocean Fizz. Surf the waves with the prickly ocean fizz. This fresh drink will bring back memories of sea foam and chill summer days. Not only rich in flavour, but also provides you with the agility and strength of a reef shark, as well as the thick skin of a humpback whale. It'll be quite the catch. I won it in a card game. It sounded delicious. And you wanted someone to make it for you? Exactly. What are you waiting for? On it, boss. Alright, so this one is 3, 2, 3, so it needs an infusion again. Infusion. That one might work. And then we need one more of this. Flash more. Flash more. And 2 of this. Is it all one? 1. I am blind. And then this. 2 of this. Budding. Imagine I'm presenting this to you while making fizzing sounds. I'd rather not. But it's just as delicious as I thought it'd be. Anyway, gotta go. I wanted to check up on Lynn. She should be training with the Chimera right now. She's visiting a coven in Arova. Or did she kill the Chimera? I think she killed the Chimera. Alright. I'll get bothered by her then. See you later. See you later, Una. And that was set up for what we previously did in the rest of the game. Oh, hello! Our himbo has a new friend! Look at that cutie! Greetings, Bravid. Hello! Hello, innkeeper. Been a while. Welcome back to my tavern, Melly. Clay, what can I do for my dear friends today? Look at the cutie! Did you miss me, innkeeper? Always, Melly. Of course, Zenith just isn't the same without its renowned detective. Your tavern looks exactly the way I remembered it. Oh, you know, Andrew doesn't do well with change. I can't fix anything without him sulking for a few days. Not even those scratch marks on the counter. Oh my god, the mug, #1 innkeeper, and it's broken. Leaking. And it's got a little Andrew on it. Those have sentimental value. But what brings you two to my tavern? I'm just passing through. I'm on my way to visit Lavela and little Prim, you know, Tia's sister and niece. That's right, because I don't know if in other playthroughs it's possible, but Tia died in our playthrough. I remember them. They check in on the tavern every once in a while. I'm glad he's still wearing the friendship bracelet. Prim always leaves a bracelet or necklace made of fresh flowers with Tia's statue. Okay, so dies either way in the game, by the looks of it. Been a while since I last saw them. So I'm visiting in between taking care of little Miss Melly over here. Clay is looking after me so I don't get myself into any trouble. At least that's how Neil phrased it. And of course Fable agreed. It's been 8 years since I last had parents, you know. And now I realize just how much I missed it. But a detective simply can't do her job while under so much surveillance. I'm almost 12 years old. Oh, Melly, you're a baby. And I've already solved a bunch of cases in these almost 12 years. I'm pretty sure I've learned how to take care of myself by now. But I do have to admit, it's nice not to be as alone anymore. And spending time with Clay in the sleeping forest while Neil and Fable are on vacation is a nice change of scenery. Kind of like a vacation for me too. So Neil and Fable, they hooked up, yeah? They hooked up and they adopted Melly. The sleeping forest isn't so sleepy after all, with Clay and all of his animals around. Did you finally open up that shelter for the abandoned, hurt and lonely animals, Clay? I did. It's a home for all those lost souls, as well as those who need some time and help to get back on their feet or wings. They're a lovely bunch. If they're half as lovely as you, they must be wonderful. Just like that wonderfully adorable companion on your shoulder. What was her name again? It's Dindy, my familiar friend. Cassiopeia sent her to thank me for caring for Tia so much. One day she just appeared on my doorstep, and ever since she can't seem to get enough of my personal space. I love that! Little baby dragon! She's so cute! Even if she's always bossing the other animals around. She helps a lot with taking care of everyone at the shelter. It can be hard work making sure everyone else is okay without losing sight of your own well-being. But I make sure to get enough breaks in so I can care for all of us with a well-rested heart. Speaking of care, would you mind keeping an eye on Miss Melly for a while, innkeeper? I promised Tia's sister that I'd be there at noon. Of course. But how about a drink before you go? Now that you mention it, I can't leave out without one of those. How about something that'll steel me for the walk ahead? Oh, I have just the drink for you. Steel it is. Also, this one will need an infusion. What? Infusion. Not that one. Not that one. That one will do it. And then we need one of this. And two of these. Slash more. And is that one or two? I can't tell. One, I think. There we go. A drink for extra tough travels. Here you go. Thank you so much. Oh, this is exactly what I needed. I already feel prepared for the way back. Give Andu a treat for me, will you? Will do. So how is it? Surrounded by animals and wilderness, no big city in sight. It's super exciting. I've never been so far up north before, so I just had to explore the area around the shelter. Did you find anything of interest? Well, first I ventured forth to find out if differently shaped snowflakes also taste different. That's adorable. Who knows how much a scientific breakthrough like that could shape future investigations, right? Absolutely. What conclusion did you come to? Well, none yet. The snowflakes were too small and melted way too quickly. But I will continue my investigation soon. First, I have to figure out what kind of mechanism I managed to get my hands on, though. Mechanism? I found something while wandering through the sleeping forest. I think it might be a piece of a bigger puzzle. I'll tell you more about it in exchange for a drink. I see you haven't forgotten anything our favorite rogue taught you. What kind of drink would you like today? How about something that'll make me even smarter so I can figure out what the mysterious mechanism does before anyone else? Sounds like you've got a plan. A smart drink coming right up. Alrighty, what are we making? What are we making, friends? Mort drink. Peak sunrise, sweet drink that feels like standing on tall mountains. Peak all the drink focuses intelligence, confidence and agility. Possibly peak sunrise. Silent owl is also one. Make the night sun. Hand selected, become silhouette and dark. Feel like peak sunrise so far. Ah, yes, cursed coffee. Alright, peak sunrise. I swear there are a lot more drinks that we unlock. Alright, so this is 1, 3, 6. Again, we need an infusion. Not that one. Not that one. How many does that do? Maybe that one? Fuck it, that one works really well. There we go. Then we only need one from my favorite bottle. And then 2 of this. Hang on. We need to have a treat, Andrew. A little more. There we go. Lush more. There we go. And a little bit of this. Big sunrise. Well, they've tweaked the recipes. This should fire up your brain in no time. Oh, I can already feel my neurons forming new connections. So, that mechanism. Alright. Where do I start? I found it while exploring the wilderness of the sleeping forest. It was completely covered with giant roots. It must have somehow caught the sparse sunlight shining through the forest because I saw it sparkling in a thicket. And of course, I just had to dig it up. It had jagged edges and looked incomplete, like it broke off from something. But there weren't any other pieces around the roots. They barely wanted to give this one up. It looked really out of place between the trees because it's mainly made of metal, but hold on tight! I'm holding on tight. Very good, because the metal seems ancient and magical. Wait, I missed something. No, that's not what I want. No. That doesn't make sense. I'm holding on tight very good because the metal seems ancient. It feels like there's a piece of dialogue missing there. I could feel some weird tingly energy flowing through me when I picked it up. You know, metal usually has a certain smell to it, right? It didn't even have that at all. No one I've asked can identify what it's made of either. And I can't scratch it with my nails, even though it looks so old. That's not all. It's not just made of weird metal. There are also super sparkly gears growing right out of it somehow that seem to be made of pure citron. I couldn't dent the citron either, like it was magically fortified. That's certainly intriguing. Right? It must be part of a bigger mechanism. With all the gears and the uneven edges, you know? There must be a second half to it somewhere. And hold your horses. It turns out the piece that I found is some sort of locket, or a tiny treasure chest, or maybe a prison. Ah, fuck, I missed that pop-up. There we go. Melly found one half of a mysterious ancient mechanism in the sleeping forest, but where is the other half? So it opened up. It was a little tricky at first. You have to turn all the gears just the right way, and even the end I needed to use the lockpicks in, and Nico got me. But eventually it bent to my will. And was there anything inside? Well, no, nothing really. I mean, except a fire spirit, a really angry fire spirit that I might have freed, accidentally. I see. But I swear I didn't do anything to make it angry, I just let it out! Maybe it was upset because it was trapped for so long? It was burning so hot, it even singed one of my whiskers. And when it took off into the woods, it managed to start a forest fire, even with all the snow. Clay and his animals helped me put the fire out quickly, but we couldn't find the spirit anywhere. Did I do something bad? Well, you could have been more careful. No, you couldn't have known about the spirit. You were just curious. Understandably, you're a detective, after all. I must be a pretty lousy one since I didn't realize the disaster I would unleash. You can't expect yourself to be familiar with all the strange ancient mechanisms in this world. You live and you learn. Speaking of said mysterious ancient mechanism and its fire spirit, I might have an idea about their origins. The spirit is clearly elemental. Now, I could be wrong, but that sounds like a creature from Leviathan's domain. Your boss? I wouldn't say boss, but yes, my patron. He and his plane are the origin of the four elements, and that includes fire. Powerful burning spirits are part of his daily routine. Oh, so if the metal is ancient, could it be that I found a long-lost relic of Leviathan's? That'd be so cool. Except for the part where I broke it. I'm not sure it's his. To find metal, strange mechanism, and especially magical gemstones? That's more of the domain of the Elder Dragon. Wait, don't they have a rivalry with Leviathan? It depends on who you ask. Some say they're enemies, others say they were best friends before went to sleep. Either way, if they both had their claws in this, I think you've got your hands on a magnificent treasure. I knew it! Now I just have to figure out what this all means, like, what's the purpose of this thing and where did the spirit go? Ellie's mysterious puzzle piece seems to have something to do with the dragons themselves, as does the angry fire spirit she freed. No biggie. Do you have any more ideas, perchance? Not yet, but I'll keep my eyes and ears wide open. That's what my trusty quest board is for. Did I hear Rusty? Can I interest you in a trip to my spa? The mud is very good for old and rusty bones. Thank you, but I'm not that old yet, and Andrew sadly can't run the tavern alone. Oh. Oh no, by sad. But I was going to give you a coupon. I bought a bunch. Coupons? I'll take them. I can hand them out in the city while doing my research. That sounds lovely. Thank you so much. Of course. Gotta go now. These puzzles won't solve themselves. I would advise you start your investigation with Una. If someone knows something, it's her. Oh, Una is also in town? Yippee! She actually said she wanted to visit you, Bayer. So I'm sure she'd love some coupons. Thanks for your help, innkeeper. See you later. Good luck with your investigation, Melly. She seems really excited. Did she encounter an anteater? No, she found a puzzle piece. Sort of. Oh, I love puzzles. What kind of pattern? Dancing skeletons, bog spirits, puppies? No pattern, I'm afraid. Oh, Snuggly Zoe. Hi, Zoe. It's more of an incomplete mechanism she'd like to put back together. Very ancient, maybe even made by and Leviathan themselves. All I can offer you in terms of patterns are unidentified metal, gears made of citron, and a somewhat agitated fire spirit. Fun. Citron gears. That reminds me of something. And what would that be? I'm not sure. The thought is trapped on the tip of my tongue. Boy says you have a drink that always helps him with his words. Please, free my tongue. Please. Free my tongue. That is a choice of phrasing, buyer. Certainly a choice of phrasing. Already on it, buyer. Alrighty. Sunny breeze, a delicious sunny breeze will make your tensions, blow your stresses, leading to hands charm, focus and recline, taste of pleasant wind blowing through woods, very popular amongst bards and rangers. Thousand winds, swept on thousand winds, you become charming as elusive. Somehow that feels exactly right. Enjoying a fresh drink. There are swells perfect for avoiding unwanted questions. It's Neil's favorite drink. So we'll go Sunny Breeze. Which requires 6 again. Apparently all the drinks require infusions now. Alright, so we just throw that in. That covers what we need there. And then we put one of these. Splish more. Splish more. Splish more. It didn't ding. That didn't even put a splish in. There we go. And then we need lots of this. An emergency rescue for your tongue coming right up. Oh, I'm free! Thank you. This makes me feel as comfortable and safe as my friends do. Oh. It matches Bayer perfectly with the little butterfly and stuff. Yes, yes, my friend. I have found the thought and ate it. Mary! Mary Morgan? Yes. In her postcard, she talked about this decorative mechanism covered in orange gears like citron. The tentacle was always there, wasn't it? Now you have me questioning things. And she was mesmerized by it. Did she spot it in a postcard shop? No, silly. In a library. I think it did hang off the edge here before, yeah. Eh. They're on vacation. in underwater for their anniversary, and they visited the local Carolippian library. Mary wrote to me about her favorite things from the tour. Underwater? I heard rumors that the city survived the primordial flood despite still being completely submerged while underwater. Something about a good flood defense system and nature's sense of irony? Yes, it's a great place to go on vacation, if you don't mind all the seawater everywhere. But I haven't figured out how to send a postcard there yet. Plants don't talk to me much when they're so salty. The Mary Morgan spotted another part of the mechanism in the Carolippian library, in underwater. It's unfortunate that the city is entirely submerged, and there we already have a quest. That was quick. I'm sure you'll figure something out. Maybe ask Hex for help. I'll think about it. New friend. Hello, new friend. Good evening, Oleander. Good evening, innkeeper. Good evening, buyer. Good evening. You look like you could use a drink. Yeah. Had another group of adventurers who thought it was a good idea to try and pet the gooseberry boars. So a drink sounds great. Have you got one of those, what was it? Coffees? A cursed coffee? Minus the curses, please. I'll see what I can do. Alrighty, cursed coffee. Needs infusions, because everything needs an infusion now. That'd work. That'd also work. That would not work. That would not work. That would not work. That would not work. Let's go with our friend. Yeah. Alright, so we're covered there. Then we just need one of these. Oh, oh, that was too many. Alright, there we go. And then a bunch of this. A cursed coffee free of any curses, but full of energy. Perfectly adequate, thank you. Well, a compliment from Oleander Verafina. Today is my lucky day. Oleander Verafina, elf, 250 years old, he, him, class ranger, background Ashen Grove, we guessed that much, alignment lawful good, arcana justice. Don't push it. So, having some trouble with adventurers again? When isn't it trouble with them? If they want to guide through the Ashen Grove, I can provide that. But you'd expect them to have at least an ounce of common sense. Instead, I have to herd them like toddlers. At least the boars have a sense of survival instinct. Let me guess, you're not getting paid enough for this. I don't get paid. That makes two of us. Means we're doing it out of the goodness of our hearts, right? It's my duty as a ranger to guide them. Can't let them get lost and disturb the local ecosystems or hurt innocent bystanders in the process. They might bring a bit of chaos, but they usually save people in the process too. That special blend is what heroism is all about. Yeah, sure. Speaking of heroes, how's Fable? Aren't they supposed to tell you all about that when they get back? I miss them. and I'm very curious. Fine, I'll humor you. According to the latest postcard, Jade is making Neil and them try all the local cuisine in Velos, including all the mildly poisonous dishes they're so known for. Seems a bit dangerous, sounds fun. Sounds fun. You're a wonderful influence, thank you. You're welcome. Honestly, I'm just glad they changed their mind about going to underwater. When they heard the town was still around, they immediately wanted to plunge down there and help people. Bless their big heart. I don't even want to imagine the trouble that would have landed them in. But I heard it's beautiful down there. The Banshee and the Mary Morgan are visiting. I'm sure they'll catch Fable up on it then. Mary has been writing me postcards too. It's so nice. That's sweet. Any underwater themed questions? Anyone? Any places you want to travel? Home in a bit. Your bed to catch some sleep. It's far too early to sleep. Suit yourself. Anyhow, buyer. Anything else that Mary Morgan wrote you about? You know, as a bedtime story for a workaholic over here? Oleander Verafina is an experienced ranger and Fable's older brother. Often his patience is stretched thin by adventurers and their hubris. He's constantly overworked and should definitely cut down on the caffeine. A well-deserved vacation is long overdue. Now I get why he's so tense. He's always worried about Fable. The library. It's haunted. Haunted? Yes, by evil books. Let me guess, a wizard. No, maybe? Mary didn't say. The tour guide gave a warning not to touch any of the book because people say they've been biting off visitors' fingers. Oh, it's raining. It's so nice. But Mary didn't get to see a single evil tome. Disappointing. That's a new flavor of evil scripture. What do you think it's all about? The locals say someone cursed the library. But I think maybe the books are just exploring their new environment. Must be so interesting to be a book underwater. Or maybe some hungry creatures found shelter in those books and no one is feeding them. That'd be sad. The books in the Coralifian library seem to have developed a taste for fingers. It is a curse, culinary curiosity, or just bad library management. That is four to do with the same quest. So maybe those are separate? Not our problem to worry about. It could be. I'm sure someone will take care of it. Someone always does. Anyway, I've got to get back to check that everything is still in place after the board debacle. And then get to Bryony's after dinner. Get to Bryony's dinner party. I can say words. Your sister finally learned how to cook? No, but she's trying. Oh, can I walk you home? I haven't seen Bryony in ages. Sure, I bet she'd appreciate more guests. And you don't mind potentially poisonous pie, right? That sounds delicious. I'll bring you a slice too, innkeeper. Later. Wonder how Andrew feels about poisonous pie. Let's take 3, but we have 4. Can I add that one too? No. Alright, so I have to decide I feel like that one might be something else. Night at the library. Deep in the sleeping forest, the young Bukakan, Detective Melina Broom, found an ancient mechanism. Words. My tongue is getting all tongue-tied. Its origins unknown, but when she tried to open it, she unleashed a fire spirit onto the world. Determined to make things right, she needs a group of ambitious adventurers to help her find the missing piece in the underwater library in Underwater. But beware, the books may bite. And before we start the next day, it's a little early for the ad break, by like 10 minutes. But we're going to run the ad break quickly so that we can just smoothly go through the day. And because my legs are going dead, so I need to get up and stretch them. So when we run ad breaks here, we go to a BRB so everyone can stretch their legs, grab some water, take their meds, get some food, go to the toilet if they need to. And no one misses gameplay. So I will see you on the other side of this quick BRB. And we are back. It seems to be a poor circulation day for my legs, so I do apologize. There will be a lot of getting up. Alright, let's get back into this. Part 2, Honeyed Hopes, 39th of the Primordial Moon. Hi, hello. Innkeeper, it's so good to see you. You too, Archie. Are you doing well? Very well, in fact. I was just enjoying an extensive lecture on the moon's swamp native flora. I even asked the cattails some questions for me. They think we look delicious too. Did you know that? That's not concerning at all. Were you doing research for your next book? No, just catching up with friends, which reminds me of an important question. How are you, friend? My mood always improves when you come around. And that's off. Thank you. Well, I'm more than happy to hear that. Though I was hoping for a signed copy of the casebook of Melina Broom. Consider it done. I'll deliver it post-haste. Melina, my dear. Speaking of the detective. Good day. I shall be taking this quest, Innkeeper. I put it out just for you, Melly. Excellent. A quest? What quest are you taking? The puzzle one? Precisely. There's a puzzle to solve? Archie, I thought you were off questing after your friend died. I thought you'd given up, buddy. Yes, sort of. I'm currently following the case of mysterious, ancient, magical, and fantastical mechanism. So far, I've only found a piece of it, but it might lead us to another. Which I should really find because I might have released some sort of angry fire spirit from the first piece. And it burned down some parts of the sleeping forest, which is not ideal. Yeah. I want to get it back inside the mechanism so it doesn't burn anything else down. But first I need to understand how the things works. Melly! It's like a puzzle. I see. If I figure out the puzzle of the mechanism I broke, then I can fix this. You didn't break anything, Melly. You investigated some ancient mechanism that was already broken. Those kinds of items tend to release strange things no matter who finds them. But I found it and I let it out, so I'll be the one to solve it. Detective never runs from responsibility. Oh, she puts so much on herself. A detective also shouldn't be afraid to ask for help. Just not from Archie, he's incompetent. That's what I'm here for. Where are you going to look for this puzzle piece? Are you going back to the Highlands? No, the quest says the buyer's friend saw a piece not unlike my mechanism in underwater. Is that true, buyer? It is. Mary said she saw it in the Coralifian library. Coralifian? Fucking hell. I love libraries. There won't be any fiery wizards in this one though, right? Doubtful. Libraries may be a wizard's natural habitat, but the one thing wizards value more than fire are their precious books. So they're typically a bit more careful in libraries. I sure hope so, especially if it's true that these books fight back. Maybe you should feed the wizards to the books. Huh? Not a bad idea, buyer. Do we encourage this? Do we encourage it? Hang on, I did not... Hang on a sec. Setting. I have noticed that... Oh, I have to There we go. Now we're connected. I'm a dumbass. You saw nothing. And now... It didn't tell how you're supposed to vote, though. I guess you just put a 1 or a 2 in chat? Let's test that. Hey, it worked! Okay. Yeah, you just put a 1 or 2 in chat. There you go, folks. You can now vote. You are certifiably insane. If you meet the books, you should tell Mary all about them. You really wanted to see them. Wait. What if I come along? I could ask her and Banshee about the puzzle mechanism thing. And then I could tell them all about the books and Eton wizards. I really hope this library doesn't employ any wizards. Awesome! You can be my on-site correspondence and witness handler. Yay! This is perfect. We'll talk to your friends and then we'll investigate the library for clues and then we'll find more clues! And solve this melee! Gotta wash that mouth out with soap! Sounds like a fun, light adventure. Just don't take Archie. Indeed, but before I go, I'm missing 2 ingredients. 2 key ingredients. A drink and... an assistant. With Neil away and Bayer already on witness duty, I'll need someone to take notes for me. No, don't take Archie. Don't take Archie, he's useless. And to bounce ideas off of... Archie, what are your plans for the day? Well, as you know, I no longer participate in the active adventuring business. So I must pass on this promising opportunity. But I need an assistant! And you need inspiration for your sequel, right? Right, well... either way, we're encouraging him. I don't want to encourage him. Dude, stay at home in your comfy little rich palace, please. Melly would be very sad. Inspiration doesn't come from sitting around. I don't want to say either of these. I don't. Oh, I have to press that button every time. Okay. Melly would be very sad. How could I say no to that face? Don't be sad, Melly. I'll be your assistant. But I'll keep it strictly to taking notes and good advice. Maybe bad advice too, so you don't miss Neil too much. I'll take it. We'll make a great team. As your assistant, may I raise a concern? Worry ahead. Isn't underwater? Indeed. It completely sank during the Twilight Flood and hasn't risen since. The city is in a magical bubble. No water inside, except in bathtubs. But the bubble is underwater. And we'll teleport into the bubble via plants? No, I can't teleport underwater. Too salty. We can swim there. Whee! Is it far down? Not really. Like 20 minutes? I don't think they can hold their breath for 20 minutes, Baya. Right. We can't breathe underwater, Baya. Oh, I forgot. That's fine. What if we find a really long straw that we can breathe through? Or we ask a wizard to turn us into fish. Or maybe... Here, innkeeper, take this. What is it, Baya? Luminous algae. Luminous algae grow in hidden grotto pools all across Gaia. As they're able to absorb moonlight and store it for eons, they're rumored to possess mystical powers. Water breathing. Water breathing is great for exploring long-lost underwater cities, but can also prove to be a worthy substitute for when you forget to bring your snorkel to the next beach party. It's luminous algae from my swamp. It keeps my guests from drowning in the sensory deprivation prawns. I'm not sure that's how sensory deprivation is supposed to work, but okay. Helps with breathing for those who need it. You can mix that in your drinks, right? I can certainly try. Thank you, Baya. Now you two pick out a drink. I have to go ask Boy to watch over my ants while I'm gone. I'll pick you up at blooming time. What is blooming time? Dawn, silly. Anyway, we'll take this magic luminous algae along with your best dexterity drink, innkeeper. That way we can sneak into the library undetected and begin our investigation without any disturbances. And we'll be quick about it too, so we'll have it solved before anything else bad can happen. Couldn't we just ask them to let us in? No, we have to be stealthy. You spent too much time with Neil. No such thing! Alright, if we're being sneaky, shouldn't we also pack some defense in case any guards or books come after us? Great idea, my dear assistant. May I also make an alternate suggestion? Just this once. Just kidding, suggestions are your job. What about intelligence to help us solve this mystery properly? But I'm already plenty intelligent. Maybe it would give us a new perspective? Especially if this mechanism is ancient, we might need some extra brain power to comprehend it. But then we should add some strength so we can kick the asses of any guards or books we come across. And also so we can pick up the mechanism, it might be heavy. And, you know, neither of us are exactly regular gym goers. Exactly. I like both options. We need to breathe underwater, innkeeper, but we should go with... Should we go with more smarts and strength, or speed and defense? Please help us, okay? Oh, you can even vote on this. Okay. I'm leaning towards smart and strength. I don't see them needing to sneak around. But I feel like they're gonna need to fight. So let's have a look at what we've got. The silent owl is smart and strength. I haven't made that. And speed and defense. Is hot chocolate? Yeah, let's go silent owl. Mind you, I don't know what the uncolored drop means. Alright, silent owl it is. With algae. Alright, so we need 3 of my favorite. And then 2 of strength. Did that overdo it? Doesn't seem to be. It looks about right, but you didn't give me a thingy. Intelligence for a detective seems self-explanatory. You're right, you can never be too smart. And now I have a mean right hook too, just like Linny. Well, a nice right hook. I don't want to be mean. I'll leave that one to Linny. I'm looking forward to hearing about your adventure. Don't get too wet. Let's go solve this case, Archie. On it, boss. Oh boy. Please tell me you've cooled it down on the flirting. Turn on the spotlight and bring out your applause, innkeeper. I've returned to your tavern. What an honor, great voyage. You look radiant. Are you here to help with the... Oh. Oh boy, are you here to help with the dishes is vicious. Oh. Yeah, you weren't expecting that way up. Thank you. So do you. Radiant like the sun rising on a warm summer day. And he's back. Wait, do you like summer days? Oh, boy. Oh, dragons, you don't, do you? I like flattery, so don't worry about it. Oh, alright, cool. I missed you, innkeeper. I missed you too. How was the tour? Incredible. Hexen and Nico's pyrotechnic special effects were insane. I've never felt so cool. And the special performances where Fable came along were overbooked at every single venue. Yeah, because Fable's the best. It was spectacular. But I really could use a break now. So many people, so many autographs and questions. Everyone kept asking me to say my catchphrase. I didn't even know I had a catchphrase. What's my catchphrase? Prepare to be razzle-dazzled. Your wink, it's me, Voyage the music guy. Oh, it's me, Voyage the music guy. That's, yeah. I don't think so. Or, do you think that'd work? Sure, my advice is always solid, isn't it? No, my advice is not always solid. You're right. I'll try it out at my next show. Speaking of classics, can I offer you a classic Void drink? Actually, I'm craving something specific today. Do you have any of those honey flowers left? I think they're exactly what I need after weeks and weeks of constant chatting and belting. And maybe you can enchant my senses by adding some classic charisma to the mix. But I wouldn't be upset with something else either. I'll make sure your drink doesn't upset you. One moment. Alright, so charisma with honey. Alright, let's add the honey flower. He wants to up the Riz. The Rizzity Diz. Which one was Riz again? Not Sailor's Courage. Enhanced Charm, very popular among bards, maybe? Peak Sunrise. Intelligence, blah 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 blah, nope. Centralized Taylor, allow you to become silhouette, quick sip, strength and subtlety, nope. 1,000 winds, that's avoidance. First snow, like the sun reflecting in you feel comfortable and safe embracing with frost days. You'll find yourself well equipped to hike into the snowy mountains. The sunny breeze. Alright. So we've got enough there. Need 2 more there. And then we need my favorite bottle. There we go. The DLC's a little buggy still. But nothing major. Prepare to be enchanted. I know you're magic, but wow, your drinks never cease to amaze me. I'd give this a standing ovation if your seats weren't so comfortable. So, how's your break going? It's very relaxing. I decided to visit Bayer at a spa, and it's been every bit as refreshing as I'd hoped it'd be. You know, she gave me a bunch of her flower crowns for my concert so I could hand them out when I didn't know what to say. We spent last week making hundreds of new ones together. Hundreds. Could you imagine the pain in your fingers making hundreds of flower crowns? Hundreds. And now I'm babysitting her ass while she's off to that underwater thing. Also, I bought you some of her coupons. I'll just leave them on the counter, alright? I still don't want any of those people who loved them last time. They sure did. I knew we could count on you. Are you going to stay a while? No, I need to get back to the ants. Just wanted to drop off the coupons and check in on you. Judging by how long it took me to get here, I shouldn't stay for too long. Did you get lost? Wait, is there another... There's another moon in the sky. I don't remember there being 2 moons. Majorly. I'm not sure what's up, but the weather's been really weird. Like there's this growing layer of fuzziness that makes it really hard to see. Things do feel a little fuzzy. Right, the wind's picking up too. It was so loud I could hardly think of my way over. Even the compass Scully got me went totally haywire when I tried to get back on track. So I had to rely on asking people for directions, which worked, but the wind and weather patterns seem to be changing, Visibility is dropping and compasses are starting to fail. Nothing to worry about, surely. You're exhausted? So exhausted. But I'd go through any storm to get to you, Innkeeper. Oh, please don't. And I'd shelter you from any storm too, boy. I'd better head out before you make my heart melt. Hang on tight to those coupons. Ooh, Glemeow. You got it. Is it just me or the days going by very quickly in this DLC? Night at the library, 44th, not 41st, 44th of the primordial moon. Oh, hey, the wind vane fucking looks like, Clay's little buddy. It's looking pretty stormy out there, Renu. I should make sure to keep the windows closed. Good morning, Oleander. Morning. What's going on out there? Great question. Are you going to answer it? Storm's pretty bad. Right, and? Oleander, you still with me? Sorry, long night and a bad headache. Could I maybe get a coffee? I don't think a coffee is going to help your headache, buddy. I don't think more coffee is what you need. How about something for that headache of yours? Maybe a tincture to soothe your mind a bit? Sure, I'll take that. I forgot to pet Andrew. Look at him. Look at him, he loves the pets. Look at the baby. Look at the little baby. One more pet. Oh, I love you. Love you, little buddy. Alright, something for his head. Something soothing for his head. Peak sunrise. Climb some boulders. Hot chocolate, nope. So it has to be peak sunrise, right? Or silent owl. I feel like peak sunrise. Alright, so we need an infusion. Let's see if any of our infusion fire resistance, inspiration, invisibility, haste, blessed, blessed. Okay. Oh, fuck yeah. Delicious kebab. We had bolognese. It was so fucking good. I felt like downing the, like, I don't know, is it a 3-liter pot? Big old stock pot of mine. Full of bolognese. Exploding from the deliciousness. Alright, so let's add that. And then we need one more from my favorite bottle. And then 2 of these, yep. And then one of these. What's your go-to kebab, Steph? Mine is chicken with smoky barbecue if they have it, and garlic yogurt if they have it. Eat your own body weight. Yeah, absolutely. I fucking would. Although that would absolutely undo all the work I've done to lose the weight and get under 100 kilos again. The gentlest cure for headaches I have to offer. Thanks. I feel soothed. Want to try telling me about the storm again? Fine. I guess I owe it to you. Quite frankly, it's a nightmare. The storm is causing an alarming number of people to get lost. On one side, you have adventurers who think now is a great time to look for treasure or personal fulfillment. Who thinks, oh, storm! Great time to look for treasure! Who? Boomst! Boomst! Boomst in their righteous mind goes, it's fucking bucketing down. Let's go fucking risk ourselves. Sour cream and garlic sauce. Nice. Some of them even want to fight the storm. I'm sorry, they want to do what? Adventurers really are single brain-celled organisms, aren't they? Which is a level of stupidity I'd previously thought impossible. On the other side, a whole lot of regular good people are in trouble too. They're wandering off the path deep into the Ashen Grove, unable to find their way out again. Compasses don't work at all anymore, and most people's sense of direction seems akin to that of stale bread. In summary, it's a mess. I recommend staying inside. Don't plan on going outside, buddy. Don't have to tell me twice. But that does sound quite strange. Strange is one word for it, bothersome is another. What kind of storm do you think it is? No idea, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. Got any guesses yourself? It feels somewhat primordial, but maybe that's just the nature of strange storms in general. I certainly haven't gotten any divine visions from the Great Sea Serpent. Granted, he's been very quiet on that front ever since I retired. Primordial, huh? Figures. That explains the frogs. Sorry? The frogs? The frogs in the treehouse. That did not clear it up. The frogs in the what now? Sorry, I should have clarified. I'm talking about the adventurers who turned into frogs. I'm still lost. Blame the storm. I think I'd rather blame your lack of explanation. Fine, fine. Some adventurers got tangled up in some strangling scrubs. I cut them out of there and agreed to lead them out of the grove. There were 4 of them, each more reckless than the last. It was a hassle leading them back. Especially with all of those aberrations haunting the storm. Not to mention that the adventurers themselves seemed to lack any sense of perception whatsoever. They almost fell into the ravenous pit. Is that what turned them into frogs? No. What sort of ravenous pit turns people into frogs? When we were passing the boundary of the ancient forest, we ran into more of these aberrations. When we defeated them, they just turned into thick and surprisingly aggressive fog. And the fog attempted to engulf us entirely. I managed to fight it off, but the adventurers weren't so lucky. It went into their leader's eyes, which then turned into a stormy purple, before she suddenly melted into water and got consumed by the storm. I'm sorry, what? I lost sight of the rest as other aberrations started appearing, and when I found them again later, they had turned into 3 frogs. That's a fascinating side effect. Are you sure they were the adventurers and not just 3 random frogs? What did you do with the frog venturers? I picked them up and brought them to Fable's treehouse. Made them a little water bath in the kitchen and locked them in there for now. That way they can't cause any trouble and the windows keep the fog out well enough. Did you leave them some snacks? Of course. Excellent. So what are you going to do to get rid of the storm? Nothing. Do I look like an adventurer to you? Yeah, you kind of do. Kind of, just less frog-like. We've still got plenty of bipedal heroes left. I'm sure one of them will take care of it eventually. No need to let it ruin my routine. I fear you may be underacting. I can say the words. I fear you might be underreacting. There are no falling stars this time. Things could be worse. There's still the primordial stars. They could float up. Let's keep it one calamity at a time this run, yeah, Innkeeper? Anyway, I should check on those frogs. And make sure no one else got lost. Maybe let the people of Zenith know to stay inside? While Oleander usually appears to be in a state of constant annoyance, sometimes another side peeks through. He has a strong sense of duty and a desire to help those in need, despite all the complaining. Also, he's good at directions. Thanks to his range of senses, he can never get lost, physically, at least. I'll inform a town crier if I can find one. Stay inside, Innkeeper. Only because you asked so nicely. Oh, that doesn't look good. What's going on outside? I'm glad you've returned, guys, but did you not see outside? Have you not seen what's happening the fuck outside? Hello, Innkeeper, your brave researchers have returned. Hello. Good to see all of you unharmed and well. Have you added researchers to your resume, Melly? Precisely. I'm an expert, professional big brain researcher now. At least that's what Archie said. You did a phenomenal job. Hold on 1 second, folks. Oh, sorry. My legs were going dead quickly. Had to get up and stretch. All right. You did a phenomenal job. Thank you. I'm kind of triple classing now. Detective, thief, researcher. But to be honest, I'm already a bit tired of books and paper and saliva and teeth. So I don't know if the researcher life is for me. Hold on. Why were there teeth in your research? Oh, they were so cute. Sounds like it'll be a longer story then. Is anyone in dire need of a drink before we begin? Me. I got you. What can I make for you today? Something fun. So I can tell you all about our adventure better. I think I know what to do. Something fun. Sunny breeze. I feel like just sunny breezing. Sunny breeze, sunny breeze, sunny breeze, yeah? Definitely not thousand winds. Sunny breeze. Alright, and with that, that'll get us what we need there. Then we just need one of this. And 3 of this. Sunny breeze. Good little Andu. A fun little drink for the cutest little swamp witch. Oh, she loves it. I do. But now it's time to tell our story. Very well. Strengthened by your drinks, we headed south through the moon swamp towards Mossbury, until we could finally spot the sea. There was no city in sight, but we knew. Underwater wasn't far. Right as we left the swamp and our feet touched the water, the luminous algae did its magic. It formed enormous air bubbles around our heads. I was a bit skeptical at first. I've read about shipwrecks and countless drowned victims after all. But I pulled myself together. To write about life, one must experience it. So I dove into the water head first, and what can I say? My head stayed completely dry. What fantastic magic, really. It looked a bit silly. The bubble adjusted to the size of his hat, not his head. Lucky for the hat. Just the tip of his feather got a bit wet. Meanwhile, Mellie's bubble was big enough to fit her whole body inside. Because her legs didn't reach outside of the bubble, she couldn't swim on her own. But Baya managed to pull her along with ease. So just like underwater did a little over a year ago, we slowly descended. While we were swimming, an unknown world came into view. Fish of all shapes, colours and sizes, swarms of glowing isopods, and large monstrous creatures in the distance. The creatures didn't scare you? No, not at all. They didn't look very aggressive to me, curious maybe, but they kept their distance. And then, we could finally see the gates of underwater. It was like a dream. No. Even in my wildest dreams, I couldn't have imagined the beauty of that sunken city. The travertine walls and marble pillars, the gentle magical light that illuminated the city and the dark ocean around it. The myriads of colourful, sometimes even glowing, sea creatures attracted by the light. It's so much more beautiful than any description I'd read. What a wondrous place. And it's in a huge magic bubble, and there I thought my bubble was big. I'm so glad I decided to go with you on such a wonderful adventure. The words and inspiration for my next story flowed to me like gentle waves. I can't wait to write them all down. We entered the city through a huge special magical seal that keeps the city dry. Melly was the only one of us with dry clothes, though. And I was so very excited to see the Banshee and Mary Morgan. We quickly met up with them at the inn they were staying at to ask them about the exact location of the mechanism. I showed them my cool puzzle piece, and the Mary Morgan said it definitely looked like the one she saw at the library. I was so excited, I was so close to solving my puzzle. They told us the way to the Coralifian library. And then we were ready to go. I like how none of them have pointed out what's happening outside. They didn't come with you? No. Apparently they had made reservations for dinner and dancing that night. And we didn't want to interfere with their plans. It was their vacation after all. But we promised to update them later. After another short walk, we finally reached our destination, the Coralifian Library. But the whole journey had taken so long that we sadly missed opening hours. Maybe that was for the best. Looking for a puzzle piece in the library brimming with people is probably very difficult. I overheard a conversation between two guards saying that some researchers and security staff were still inside. They were trying to figure out the curse of the library. You know, the mysteriously injured visitors and moving inventory and so forth? And, well, all three of us have certainly had our fair share of adventures, spells, and monsters. So I introduced myself to the staff. I told them maybe we could be of help. As it turns out, they had actually read my books and heard that they were based on true events. And a swamp witch like me could offer even more possibilities for dealing with various curses. A cute swamp witch, if I might add. We're flirting with Baya? We're flirting with Baya. Apparently Buyer is the tavern keeper's hear me out. And I mean fair, Buyer is a sweetie. So after our brief expert pitch, they allowed us all in. After we made it inside, we only had to find the second piece of the mechanism. And maybe also help those poor librarians figure out what kind of curse they were dealing with. Have you ever visited the Corolifian Library, Innkeeper? Not yet. Oh, you really have to. Just the building alone is worth it, let alone all the recipes you could find in there. I'll think about it. The light, polished marble and organic wood made for such a perfect combination. All those arches and tall bookshelves that towered above us mere mortals. And the highlight of the whole structure was the sun dome. The sun dome? The central part of the library is covered by a gigantic glass dome that fills every nook and cranny with warm sunlight. Really cool, but it also made me feel very small. The irony of having a sun dome underwater, having sunlight deep underwater. When we got in, one of the staff members saw us looking around in awe. Told us they added the dome for better lighting and to instill a sense of normalcy into such an abnormal location. It's also a rather new addition to the library. I found it a bit strange that the renovations seemed to have finished just before the first reports of the alleged book hauntings. Renovation, smenovation, I really wanted to find the second puzzle piece. So while Archie talked to the librarians by and I started very unsuspiciously looking for the mechanism thingy. We followed the Mary Morgan's description to a T, and even found the mildly wet pillow where it was supposed to be displayed on. But it wasn't there. It was frustrating, as if someone was deliberately snatched it away right before we could get to it. At that point, I was still talking with the staff. One of them introduced herself as a researcher of ancient spells and magic. And the more we talked, the clearer it became that my suspicion of a correlation between the renovations and the curse was well founded. Meanwhile, it got darker and darker in the library as the sun was slowly setting. Of course, mere darkness wouldn't stop me from searching the whole library. Never underestimate a Vikakin's night vision. Up until that point, I had tried to always keep her in sight, but I kind of lost her in the darkness. I really wish I had better eyesight. I was rummaging through the bookshelves and the books themselves. I mean, the puzzle piece had to be somewhere, right? But when I tried to move a particular old and heavy leather book, I suddenly felt a sharp pain in my finger. I thought so at first, but no. It was the book. It had dozens of long, razor-sharp teeth and was nibbling on my finger. Her scream echoed through the whole library. We rushed over to her instantly. But when they arrived, the book had already let go of my finger and fled to a hidden nook. Kind of like it was scared. I told them what had just happened. I feared they wouldn't believe me, but instead I saw a look of realization dawn on my assistant Archie's face. It suddenly all made sense. It was as clear as day that library wasn't dealing with a curse, not in the slightest. Instead, they were dealing with mimics. I don't think I've ever seen anyone proclaim that word so happily before. Well, it was my first time actually seeing one in the wild. Though I would have expected them to look more treasure chests or doors. But of course, in an environment like that one, books make so much more sense. The staff said they'd never had any issues with rodents or other small animals. So that means the mimics must have been living in the library for quite some time. I'm guessing years, if not decades. But all the reports of visitors getting bitten and books moving are pretty recent, right? The staff asked the same question. But luckily Archie here is a mimic expert. Well, they appear in almost every adventure novel, so I guess my knowledge just accumulated naturally. I can say words. You see, Innkeeper, some subspecies of mimics are nocturnal. They absolutely despise light. So, a dark and moody place like a library is perfect for them. Unless some people decide to add a huge glass dome to let in more light. Not like all mimics are aggressive by nature. They were just scared. And of course they were. They don't do well with change and had recently lost their safe home to one with far more light. And if that wasn't enough, the visitors were also picking them up regularly. That's super stressful. If I were a mimic, I would also stop biting people. Honestly, I felt really sorry for them. And so did the staff. But we still needed a solution for the biting issue, obviously. While they were discussing all of that, I could still hear the mimic that bit me shuffling in the corner. It was so scared of us that I felt bad for screaming so loudly earlier. So I tried to calm it down for her. I'd never met a creature like that before. But they talked at similar frequencies as plants, so we understood each other right away. What a unique and fascinating way to communicate. The librarians were equally in awe. I explained our situation and assured the mimic that we weren't there to hurt them. And with our combined powers as great detectives, authors, and mimic whisperers, we found a solution. They obviously couldn't undo the renovations, also the residents loved the glass dome. But to help the mimics feel more at ease, we needed a bit more shade in the library again. Tobiah transformed the whole east wing into a botanical garden. It was a fantastic sight. I'd never seen such a diverse flora pop out of nowhere before. Not nowhere. I just nicely asked the tiny algae and spores in the joints if they would like to grow. And they were so eager to grow. It took the mimics approximately half a minute before they explored their new abode. We could hear the rustling of paper throughout the whole library. They loved it. One even came over to thank us. It was the one that bit me. I'd recognize that purple book cover anywhere. It was very grateful and said the whole colony liked their new home. And it also wanted to give us something. You'll never guess what it was, Innkeeper. A bone, a tooth. So you'll never forget that it bit you. You have a wild imagination, huh? You couldn't be more wrong. Too bad. What was it then? It was the second puzzle piece. Turns out, in their distress, they thought it was edible. I never knew mimics could be so nice. I suppose it's now up to me to change their bad reputation. Sounds like a plan and a very successful adventure. It gets even better. The librarians and I spent a few hours studying the mechanism, and we figured out that it's supposed to be a zoetrope? A zoetrope. Exactly. The upper part has tiny holes in it. The light emitted by the fire spirit shines through and projects moving pictures of light onto the walls. Oh, no wonder the fire spirit was pissed. It was trapped in a little fucking light box. And apparently the fire spirit is called the Tempest. It's a powerful fire spirit created by Leviathan. It's associated with, well, fire, passion, affection, somehow, and listen to this, storms. That explains outside. That explains outside. The librarians handed us an ancient tome full of information on it. The book contained a dramatic short story about massive storms in the primordial sea that was summoned by upsetting the Tempest. Presumably, because Melly opened its enclosure, it got exposed to a world very different from Leviathan's domain, which made it upset. We think the zoetrope was its home, but it's broken, and the spirit has no idea where it was. It's all very scary. Since the zoetrope is old and broken right now, we can't just put the spirit back. Obviously, we needed to fix it so we could let the Tempest return to it if it wanted to. But we needed to head back to the surface first. We said goodbye to the librarians and the books and the mimics, of course. And Baya also picked up a postcard to update the Mary Morgan, as well as a souvenir for Fable's brother Coriander. Yes, I got Oleander some coral sprigs. That's quite lovely. Indeed, but by then it was already the next morning. We were all quite tired, but I was also at least equally worried about the drink's effects wearing off. We definitely needed to get back to the surface as soon as we could, or else we would be stuck in underwater. As soon as we got back to the barrier's seal, the bubbles returned. They were already a bit more translucent than before, but we still had enough time to get back. Or so we thought. Oh no! That doesn't sound very promising. It was horrible. At first I could see the bubble around me cracking like broken glass, and then water started rushing in. It was so cold and wet. I hate being wet! Luckily, we had already made it pretty close to the surface. Baya's kelp strands quickly pulled us towards the surface and helped us swim back to shore. But the weird storm made it so very difficult to navigate. Even though I'd read so much about how to always find north, I was completely lost. And, well, we accidentally swam east instead of north? I was really confused where my swamp had gone. Or why there was such a huge city in front of us. But I'd recognize that skyline anywhere. We were accidentally stranded in Zoford. You know, I've been back to the city a few more times since my quest there. So I knew a pretty solid tavern where we could spend the night. It was a recommendation from the familiars. In the morning, we sat down to discuss our next steps. I really wanted to fix the zoetrope, but when I pulled it out of my pocket, it must have come into contact with the sea when we swam back to the surface. The water seeping into some of the cracks must have corroded parts of the ancient metal. Several pieces of it probably broke off while we were swimming. Now they're lost in the ocean somewhere. And our two parts don't fit together anymore. I really wanted to fix it. We weren't sure what to do, so we came back here. Innkeeper, could I maybe order a drink now? Of course. Do you already have a drink in mind? Yes, I would like to order a hot chocolate. One hot chocolate coming right up. Oh, wait, I would like an extra fancy hot chocolate, like with glitter or marshmallows on top. Sadly, I'm fresh out of marshmallows. Oh. But I could substitute them for some ghost berries. They pop in your mouth when bitten into, and add a fun twist to your drink. Oh. Yes, I'd love some of those. Very well. Ghost berries. Pop. Alright, what do we need to make this? We've already got that. And it looks like we've already got that. So we need one of this. And then 3 of this. It doesn't look right. What am I missing? Maybe a drop of this? No. There we go. How's your hot chocolate? I love it! It's sweet and warm and perfect! I just had an idea. The zoetrope is made of citron and ancient metal, and seems connected to the dragons, right? What if you just reforged the pieces you lost with a little bit of divine help? We forged a powerful sword once. The zoetrope might require some more finesse, but it isn't necessarily harder to do. Now that you mention it! But isn't Miss Rio exploring the caves of with Kyle and Lady Evelyn at the moment? If I remember correctly, it was her who forged Kaelin's legendary weapon. That's true. I don't think we'll be able to reach her anytime soon. But maybe Una can help. She's an engineer and she's very smart and good with metal. I want to argue with that, but I can't. And if we need divine help, we can go to the Dragon Temple in the Highlands. The one that doesn't have the ever-burning flame anymore. But they should still know a thing or two about forging divine things. Maybe they even have a secret ancient metal or a modern substitute. Oh, I've been to that temple. It's a very cold place with a very large quiver. I don't know what that is. The zoetrope is broken but not beyond repair. Maybe all it needs is a stubborn engineer and some helpful priests from the Highlands. So those two go together. But it's definitely worth a try. Do you actually think we can fix this? I'm scared that I messed up big time and the storm might be here forever and that it's all my fault. There's always a solution. Sure, sometimes fixing a mistake can result in unforeseen changes, but without change we would never grow. Plus, not so long ago, you helped stop the world from ending. I think you've got this. How about you start by visiting that Varakan Dragon Temple? You can figure things out from there. Thank you, Innkeeper, for believing in me. I'll go ask Una for help. I'm sure she'll have some fun ideas. Sounds like a plan. See you later, Innkeeper. Good luck. I think I should follow her. I'm scared she'll get lost in the storm. I'll also have to check in on Foy and my aunt. Take good care of yourself, Baia. Will do. And you, up for a trip to the Highlands and building a snowman? No, I fear this might be the end of the adventure for me. I have to meet Theo's parents tomorrow morning. I wouldn't want to miss that. Who knows how many tea and cakes days we have left together. But please, do let me know about the results of the quest. You can count on me. Thank you very much. But before I leave, after all that talking, I'm in dire need of a drink, dear Innkeeper. Of course, anything specific in mind? Maybe something that'll steal my vocal cords for recruiting more assistants to protect me from a sore throat tomorrow. Leave it to me. Alrighty. Ad break soon. And it looks like the day's ending, which is perfect. So what do we need? That might work. And then need 3 of this. And 1 more of this. Bing bang boom, steel tonic. Let's go. Liquid steel just for you. Thank you very much. This is exactly what I needed. I can already feel the itching in my throat subsiding. Until then, Innkeeper. Time to build up a new quote. Apparently these are all tied together. Alright. One zoetrope to rule them all. Okay. The mechanism, a delicately crafted zoetrope, as well as the spirit that inhabited it, seem to be rooted in the realms of the great dragons. The zoetrope seems to be broken, but perhaps not beyond repair. A competent team is needed to seek out the priests and their divine forge in Varika to aid in reassembling the Tempest's home. Perhaps that will soothe its wrath. Oh, that's a lot. Alright, before we start this next day, we're going to go on a quick BRB and run some ads so that no one misses any gameplay. Please take this moment to stretch, grab something to eat, grab a drink, take your meds, go to the toilet if you need to, and I will see you in about 5 minutes. And we are back. Just taking massage gun to my leg a little, trying to get that circulation going. Hopefully. Alrighty, let's get back into it. Boo, PCG, boo. A Guide to Heroism, 42nd of the Primordial Moon. $251 kilos. God. Morning. Good morning. You look tired. I'm not. Your eye bags. Have eye bags. It was a long night. Storm's still storming. Yeah, honestly, that's a good way to put it. I spent all night leading people away from the Grove's interplanar portal. The Amaranthine Hydra deserves some privacy. And I really don't want someone accidentally wandering into Avalon. The frog venturers kept trying to break out of the treehouse, too. I barely even had time to look after Fable's vegetable garden. Do you think they're okay? Do you think the storm has reached Violet, too? Are they equipped to handle it? What if they stumble into the Twilight Chasm again? Oh, he's so concerned for his little sibling. I'm sure Fable is alright. Fable has faced much worse. I'm a bit worried about them, too. Fable has faced much worse. But I care about Fable, so of course I'm worried about them. Fable has faced much worse, which they have. I'm a bit worried about them too. Great to see you have some common sense. But we've been worried about them before and they've always been fine. I would love to run after them and make sure they return safe and sound. But we both know neither of us will do that. So we just have to wait until they get back and scold us for worrying so much. I guess I can't argue with that. So now you're here to take a break. Do you need a room so no one sees you resting? No, I just need to sit for 2 minutes in silence is all. Then I'll be good as new. Sure, bud. Got it. Watch. Oh, he's fallen asleep. He's so fallen asleep. Oh, and he's awake again. Morning, sentient elderberry. Are you ready for us to blow your socks off? Depends, who is we? Big guy, stop chatting with the sparrows and get in here. Yay! The poor birds, they were almost blown away. Oh, look at the snuggly little dragon. Oh. That storm is gnarly. Luckily, we're here to fix it. That's wonderful news. Can't wait to rebuild Melly's ancient gizmo. Though, innkeeper? Present? Wouldn't you just call up your old pal Leviathan, send a prayer, ask him to pick up his tantrum-throwing spirit? I tried that. Unfortunately, I am but a devotee. I don't have a direct line to the guy either. Plus, there's the Oath of Neutrality, you know. They can only help us so much. I guess he only answers you when you need new recipes. Maybe you can ask for a working compass recipe. While we're at the topic of questions, Una, let me continue with a reasonable one. Didn't Millie want to fix this? She does. But I put her on packing duty so she can work out some of those nerves. We'll pick her up once we're done. Good man. I assume that means you'll be joining her? Of course, I know the Highlands well. And Prim and I got super lost on the way back from the book fair yesterday. It was pretty scary for her. I can only imagine what it's like for people and creatures that don't have someone's hand to hold. So we gotta fix this. Such a good Samaritan. Oh, he's a good little himbo. You're going as well? Well, I was asked, and sometimes I gotta get off my old ass, right? Absolutely. So, can you build them a compass that'll work? Not a chance, but we'll just have to trust our intuition and guess ourselves to the correct destination. Just like the good old days. We'll do our best to navigate through the storm. Maybe we'll manage to catch sight of some landmarks. I just hope we get there before it does any more damage. Got any tips? Leviathan's favorite? I know a navigator you can... I could write you down some prayers. Do I know a navigator you can ask? Do I know a navigator they can ask? I have such a bad memory. I don't think I know a navigator they can ask. But let's say it. Just see. Or a ranger, rather. Ah. Who? I am a dumbass. Of course. Oleander Verafina, Fable's older brother, and very experienced ranger. Sorry, what? He's already been helping people get home safely through the storm. He might be just the man you need. And he's in desperate need to get out more. The man that doesn't want to leave. Pushing him into an adventure. I don't think you can just... You'll help us? Fable told us great things about you. That would be amazing! Thank you for the flattery, but no, I cannot help you. Think about it this way, the quicker this is solved, the less people will get lost in your forest. And the sooner those frogs will be adventurers again. I can't exactly just leave. What if something happens while I'm gone? Don't you have like 5 sisters? What if something happens to them? Don't you think they're competent? Well, yes, but... But... Don't worry, we'll take really good care of you, alright? It would really help us a lot if you came along. Fine, I'll take you where you need to go and I'll bring you back. But I don't want to be involved in your weird adventure. Don't want to be involved. Buddy, you're taking them there. You're involved. You are very much involved. Famous last words, kiddo. Famous last words. So, how are you planning on approaching this? With luck. And a magical drink. Reassuring. Alright. I say we pack a heavy dose of dexterity for my old fingers so I can reforge the mechanism thing easy peasy. Maybe also add a little intelligence to the mix, some extra sparks couldn't hurt. Sounds reasonable enough. Got anything divine to add to that mix? I could offer you some delicious citron, both for the drink and as material for the mechanism, I suppose. Perfect, we might need some blessings to fix something so ancient. Can't trust those priests to be stocked up on divine favors. This is starting to sound some kind of blasphemous. I can say words. This is starting to sound kind of blasphemous. You think you can fix an, let me see, ancient and divine design? We'll rebuild it. Right. So, now that I think about it, we might need some strength after all to make any progress with it. Melly said it was so tough she couldn't even scratch it. Not a bad point. Should we add some charisma as well, so we can better talk to the Tempest? Maybe it doesn't want to go back into the Zoetrope, or maybe it does. Either way, we should ask. That's insane. It's a powerful fire spirit. It'll burn you alive and destroy your surroundings before you can ask it about its feelings. That's what fire resistance is for. I like the way you think, big guy. Innkeeper, I think we could use your wisdom. Dexterity, intelligence, and divine blessings to put all of our focus rebuilding the mechanism. Or strength, charisma, and fire resistance so we can commune with the spirit. Let me think about it. This is a tough choice. I think I know where I want to lean. But this is a tough fucking choice. Do we focus on the mechanism, or do we try to convince the spirit? So, 2 is convincing the spirit. 1 is focusing on the mechanism. Let's see what drinks there are. Focusing on the mechanism would be... hot chocolate, I think. Double check that. We need 3 dexterity. And the only drink with 3 dexterity is a hot chocolate. Okay, so a hot chocolate. Or... Sailor's Courage, by the looks of it. Yeah, hot chocolate or Sailor's Courage. I think it's pointless trying to convince the fire spirit if the mechanism doesn't work. So I am going to go hot chocolate, I think. Which means we need some citron. Which gives us that, which we don't need, but okay. Then we need... let's start with this. 3 of that. And 1 from my favorite bottle. Oh, did it not quite make it? Oh, it made too much. And then... 1 of this. Did that not work? We need another thing to do the blessing. Let's... surely... right. That is the citron, right? Double check. Yeah, that's the citron, which gives bless, but so does the lotus flower. Maybe we put the lotus flower in instead, even though they asked for citron? Can we change to the lotus flower? There we go. What's perfect timing, Jerish? We need one from you. Right, and one from you, right? Hot chocolate. Oh, I'm jealous. Let's focus on rebuilding this thing. Once you figured that out, I think the spirit won't be too big of an obstacle. And this way you can keep up with Oleander's speed. Can't wait to bounce my ideas off of you kids. This will be a fun journey. I'm excited. He's so grumpy. Maybe you can say hi to the Guiver guarding the temple too. We should. Sorry, just to clarify, what Guiver? There's a giant Guiver guarding the Dragon Temple near Verica. Some of the others ran into it last year while looking for the ever-burning flame. Right, yeah, normal occurrences. Typical adventuring stuff. Sure, I get it. You got this. We'll see. I should go pick up some spies. I'll meet you at Broom's place. Head left from the wizard towers until you smell the bread from the bakery. It should be easy enough to find from there. Thank you, Ollie. No. I don't think he likes nicknames. Oh, I'm sure you'll get it to stick. Nicknames usually do. We've got to head out too, innkeeper. I need to stock up on snacks for Dindy before we leave, and on some bread. That bakery sounds tempting. We'll be back soon. I'm looking forward to it. Don't forget to pray for us. I would never. Keep an eye out for them, Levy, alright? Your friend is causing a lot of trouble, Levy. I promise you'll have fun with it. The Eye of the Storm, 50th of the primordial moon. Would you look at that? The weather's cleared up. Does that mean they were successful? Hopefully no one turned into fog. Good morning, innkeeper. Missed us? I did. But I consoled myself with the hope that you guys would bring the sun back to my tavern, which you did. I take it the quest was a success? Bingo! Congratulations, seems like you three saved for Soa once again, or at least you saved a lot of people from getting lost. Speaking of which, where's Oleander? What? He was right behind us. Maybe he got distracted by the bakery. Can't blame him for that, we almost lost Dindy there as well. Or maybe the bread ate him. I guess someone has to check. Bummer, looks like I'll have to miss out on a drink. Are you just trying to avoid the recap? No, I'm doing the pretty elf a favor. I'm offering him my seat so he can be a part of whatever this is. I have more than enough chairs. See ya! I want my own Dindy. Can I please offer someone a drink? I'd love one. Very well, detective. Any specific wishes? Something that'll fire up my brain so I'll be well prepared for my next case. On it. All the brain power for little Millie. So... Big sunrise. And then we need an infusion now, because all drinks apparently now need an infusion. This is the one I want. Then one from my favorite bottle. Did that not ping? Really? There we go. And then we need 2 from this one. Did that also not ping? God damn it. There we go. And 1 from this one. Such a pretty drink. I'm pretty sure you'll like this one. Ooh, taste test! Delicious! No ancient puzzles or spirits will be safe from me ever again. Now, care to tell me more about your heroic quest in the Highlands? Happily. I've travelled to Vurica many times, but because of the weird storm, it was really hard to tell where we were going. I don't know exactly how I did it, but somehow Ollie could still figure out north from south. Some would also call it a skill. Welcome back to my tavern. Did Una save you from the bread? Barely. Good to hear your companions were just singing your praises. Thanks to Ollie's fantastic sense of direction, we travelled so fast. And when we finally reached the foot of the mountain, you know, the one with the dragon temple, suddenly ground beneath us started rumbling and shaking. Here we go again. At first I thought I had accidentally stepped on a trap or freed another angry spirit. But it was just the Guiver. You say that like it was nothing. It was huge. A huge snake with... It was just as friendly as Kyle said. It got along really well with Clay. He even got it to let us ride on its back. It was... so cool. I bet Archie's going to be so jealous when I tell him I've ridden a Guiver. It was very reckless. All of us could have gotten hurt. Sometimes I wonder if you're allergic to fun. Now I know why Fable was such a nervous little Nelly. Listen to their brother. I admit it, Ollie, you really like the Guiver. I saw you studying its scales. It was interesting, I guess. A fascinating creature. And surprisingly gentle. See? Admitting it didn't hurt, right? It almost did. The Guiver carried us all the way to the top of the mountain to the dragon's temple door. Finally, I'd get to walk to the priest and figure out how to fix my talk to the priest and figure out how to fix my zoetrope. Leviathan zoetrope, of course. The priests were amazed by the zoetrope, even though it was broken. They said it was oozing divinity, which sounded unhealthy, but also like a good thing. Una got them to invite us into their divine workshop to get a closer look at their forge and materials. I'm pretty sure she looked through every single one of their crates trying to find metal we could fuse with the zoetrope. She also pocketed a lot of their crystals. Maybe she'll give you some later, innkeeper. What? Nothing. Anyway, even though Una was wearing her coolest goggles, none of the metals were ancient enough to match ours. But Una wasn't about to give up. She asked the priests if their forges could melt the citron we bought. And guess what? Their forges can melt anything. Cool, right? Very. They really wanted to know where we had gotten all that citron from, though. Who can say? That's what I said! Speaking of citron, do you think you could make us a drink, innkeeper? Melly did make it sound delicious. How could I ever refuse you? So he just wants something with citron. Suppose pig sunrise? Hang on, citron does... hang on. Citron. Boom. So we got one on each of those. but not peak sunrise. Something that works with one of each of those. Steel tonic does. Alright, steel tonic it is. Alright, first we need one of this. And then we need one of this. And then we need 2 of this. Birding. A drink with digestible citron just for you. Thank you. It's just as tasty as I'd hoped. Though not as crunchy. Anyway, can we get back to Una's cool concept? Gladly. We decided to fix the zoetrope by building the missing parts out of citron. A brand new atroped, so to speak. I helped Una draw up the blueprints based on Archie's and my studies. We added some flower engravings too, because Bayer always says there's nothing happier than flowers. And then Clay and Una got to forging. She trusted me with the heavy lifting, while she did all the finicky stuff. I learned so much. I asked her if she could help me redecorate my animal shelter sometime too. She said yes. I'm excited. I give better woodworking classes. She'll come up with something great. Or explosive. Which is also great. Exactly. What part of the forging did you take on, Oleander? Ollie didn't like our approach. It's not that I didn't like it, it just seemed ineffective. The plan was to convince the spirit to go back inside the zoetrope. But you wanted to fundamentally change the original design. I thought, what's the point of changing it so much that the spirit might not even recognize it anymore? Going through all that effort wouldn't be worth it. We would just make it angrier. What a waste of time. I told him that change doesn't have to be bad though. Sure, we could rebuild the zoetrope exactly how it was before. But who was to say the spirit wouldn't like its new home? Maybe not as in the same way, or maybe not as much, but in a new way. I don't think we should deny ourselves joy just because something feels unfamiliar to us. Besides, what we wanted to give it was peace and happiness, not nostalgia. Well, yeah, I wasn't really up for life lessons at the time. So I just chatted with the priest while the rest of them worked away in the forge. They gave me a tour of the temple, showed me the clock tower, the enchanted statues, the desecrated altar of the ever-burning flame. They were still pretty down about the primordial flood extinguishing it. That their temple felt cold without it, no matter how many candles they lit, and so on and so forth. But they covered up their overly complicated feelings by telling me all about the temple's architecture. I got a whole lecture on how it has evolved since its original conception. They didn't remember when it was first built, but they did have a few myths up their sleeves. Really fun myths. Ollie told us all about them on the way back, but I'm skipping ahead. Una and Clay did an awesome job. They melted some of the parts of the zoetrope and then reforged them together using the citron and divine blessings from your drinks. It made the whole thing sparkle. I even felt like I could hear a distant gentle melody as Una slipped the final piece into place and Clay brought down the hammer for the last time. And then, as if summoned by the mechanism's new finished form, we heard a loud crash from outside. We all rushed out there in record time and I made sure to truck the zoetrope under my arm as we ran. It was radiating a soft heat like a divine hand warmer. When we got outside, we saw that one of the temple statues had both been smashed and burned to bits. And right in front of us, the Tempest and the Quiver were fighting. It was pretty gnarly. I think it could sense us doing something to the mechanism and then rushed to the Highlands in a blind panic. It looked even angrier than the last time I saw it, and I got really scared. The air around us was scorching hot, but I was frozen solid. I just couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. It's okay, Melly. We all feel that way sometimes. Your fear is there to keep you alive. Mindless, reckless heroism isn't always the answer. Though sometimes bravery is, and you found it just in time, didn't you? Ah, there we go. He's warming up. I did! I felt Clay's hand on my shoulder and I knew I could do it. So I stepped forward, held out the zoetrope and said loud as I could, I'm sorry that your home was broken and that I left you all alone and scared. We built you a new home if you want it. Immediately, the Tempest rushed towards her and I wanted to interfere, but Una held me back, told me to trust her. The spirit circled me and the zoetrope for what felt like an eternity. But then, just like how it had escaped when I first found it, it glided back into the mechanism's reattached centerpiece. Suddenly, the raging storm around us changed. It was still there, but it got quieter. Less angry, more sad. The warmth of the zoetrope against my hands felt lonely too, somehow. It didn't even start spinning, just sat there in my arms with a small flickering flame in the center. And I realized the zoetrope had been lost in the forest for so long, the place the spirit once belonged to probably didn't even exist anymore. It was back in its mechanism, but what now? Were we supposed to just put it back in the forest? Would it get lost again? What purpose did it have now? I pulled the zoetrope closer to my chest so the spirit knew it wasn't alone, but I knew I couldn't bring it back to the past either. Then Ollie stepped up to me and asked if he could hold it for a second. I was thinking back to what the priest had told me earlier, about how the temple had changed over the years, and how Clay had said that change could be a beginning if you let it in. I thought, well, I brought the zoetrope to the empty altar where the ever-burning flame had once stood. It's in the center of a giant hall with high walls and the perfect lighting conditions for a show of animated shadows. Gently I set the zoetrope down in the center of the altar. It felt like a good place for it to dance, like maybe it could find a new purpose there. Maybe it could light up the temple with joy again. I was sure it hated my idea at first, since the storm suddenly rushed into the temple and spun around the zoetrope like a small tornado. But then the storm swirled and swirled until it became a gentle whirl around the zoetrope, turning it slowly in circles as the spirit danced in the center. It projected all these beautiful images on the walls made of shadows that almost felt alive. When I saw frogs, I realized it was showing stories that it witnessed during the storm. Some hopeful, some sad, some heroic or funny. The priests were delighted. And the spirit lit up the temple with new life. Una danced along with it too, when it was clear the zoetrope's repairs would hold. That's beautiful. Yes, it is. I'm proud of you, all of you. That's a pretty impressive temple remodel. Right, maybe I should ask Ollie for some remodeling tips. There are experiences one must undergo in life to determine their future. Oh, no, that's Archie, fuck. On the surface, it seems he struggles with empathy and spontaneity, but there's something slumbering deep within. His problem-solving skills are remarkable and proved very useful, and maybe this adventure ignited a spark for many more to come. I'm not too bad at woodworking, actually. So I can invite you to the Sleeping Forest and you'll help me build a new barn? You know what? Sure, I think I could stop by for a few days. But first I need a break. Desperately. Saving the world is pretty exhausting, isn't it? Very. You know what's perfect for a break? A drink. Would you like something for your headaches? No, actually, Clay recommended some of your heartier drinks. If you feel exhaustion in your bones, a little bit of liquid defense will fix you right up. I'd like to give that a try. I'll happily make that possible. I mean, Steel Tonic, right? What other ones do defense? First Snow. First Snow. Let's just do Steel Tonic. And it needs... Citron's the best course of action for that. Then we need 2 of this. One of this. There we go. Apparently that counts. And one of this. There you go. You might have to get accustomed to the taste, though. Let me give it a try. It's good. Different from what I usually order, but good. Glad you like it! If you're taking recommendations, may I recommend a Let's take it slow. Are you guys done with all your yapping yet? You missed the most exciting part. Nah, I think I arrived just in time. I'm craving some free drinks, old pal. Adventures always come with free drinks, you know that. I'd be up for another round myself. Me too. Victory! Round 2 of many it is. Well, that was shorter than I expected. They were saying 3 to 4 hours. That was like 2. And that is the Tavern Talk DLC done. Alrighty, let's see who there is to raid. I think we've got a few options. Let me... Oh, Galaxy's finished. I think Plotsky's celebrating a streamiversary, so I'll go say hi to Plot. It was shorter than I was expecting. It was very quick. The promotional stuff that I was sent said 3 to 4 hours. So I was expecting at least another hour. But it was cute. It was nice and sweet. But yeah. So next stream is Sunday with more Witcher 3. So until then, thank you all for coming. A reminder that we are still raising funds for puns. But please don't put yourselves out if you cannot afford to do so. Every sub, every bit donation, every donation to Ko-fi or Stream Elements will be going towards Punz's replacement PC. But until Sunday, take a raid message with you. I've got to get those raid messages. You can keep up to date with things happening in Discord. And I will see you all Sunday.